And we're live. Welcome everybody here to the Lakers Lounge. I'm Anthony Irwin, joined here on this fine Friday, your favorite day of the week. We are actually recording on your favorite day of the week. I don't have a cocktail in front of me on my favorite day of the week. What a disaster.
No comment.
Why am I? We have a lot to talk about. So the Lakers find themselves down 0-2 in this series.
Yes.
Both games, you felt like especially in game two, felt like the Lakers maybe should have won that one. Game one, they were getting their asses kicked and then got back into it. And, again, felt like they had opportunities, but that one you didn't really feel like, man, you let that one slip away, right? Because you were down 20 plus in that one, and you don't
Yep.
you don't normally consider games that you're down that way the kind that you can say you look back on and say, man, if only. But yeah, at the end of the day, all that really matters here is that the Lakers have to hold their serve now, and win both of their home games. And Aaron, I guess that's the place to start. Is how confident are you that the Lakers are going to be able to do that?
Denver's really good, so that factors into this also. And there's this thing that like a series doesn't start until the road team wins a game,
I've
and
always hated that
I just
cliche.
think that's nonsense.
I've hated.
Um, I think it's
Like,
nonsense,
so
and here's why.
there's a potential 7 game series that never starts.
Well, here's the other reason, right? The
or
Lakers
like
are
or
down.
like the series that Denver just played in didn't start until they won.
Well, also maybe nobody wins a road game. That's very possible, also.
Yeah.
Um, But the reason I hate it is because, yeah, I mean, it does offer some perspective, right? Especially for the home team, because you can say, the Lakers going home now. You can say like it can offer some perspective and some context and make you feel better. Denver was doing what they were supposed to do, and as you just said, now it's up to the Lakers to respond and hold home court, even though the Lakers don't have home court. The problem with that, though, is when you go down 0-2 in a series, and we saw this with Denver and Phoenix. Phoenix was able to win the 2 games back home. Games 3 and 4 against Denver.
Hmm.
But if somebody goes up 2-0 on you, you have to win 4 of the next 5 games
Yeah.
to win the series, and that's
Yep.
really difficult, right?
Hmm.
So the thought that like it doesn't start until the road team wins. No, like the Lakers needed to win one of those games in Denver because now
Yep.
you have to beat a damn good team 4 times in the next 5 games, and that's just not very likely.
Yeah, that's essentially look. What you have to do, what the Lakers have to do here is right. Is just win the game in front of them
Yes.
and see what that does for you. But the thing that this Lakers team especially needed to avoid these playoffs, and to this point they have, is playing with enough energy to win and not winning that game, right? Expending that much energy, and in both of those games, right? You saw long minutes, you saw, especially in the second game, you saw them playing hard enough to win, but there
Yep.
were just enough lapses in discipline, lapses in engagement, that Denver was able to hang around. And then look, like they have been that all season. They are, especially at home, really effing good in general, but really effing good in the clutch, right? Like they
Yep.
they know exactly what they need to do to execute. They execute. They know exactly what buttons to press and all that stuff. They've been together for a really long time. Jamal Murray like just did not miss last night in the fourth quarter. MPJ got his legs underneath him, and like that is still the thing. By the way, that like the Lakers have to avoid if they want to win the series is like MPJ getting going. But yeah, like it's just
So
going back home, going to LA and playing in this next game. The thing that I'm a little concerned about is this is now 2 games that the Lakers have played really hard in, and they are down 0-2. And it wouldn't surprise me at all if they were just exhausted in game three. Like this is
yeah,
how short
although
series happen.
excuse me, to be fair, the Lakers are the deeper team. Like there are more guys you can trust on the Lakers bench than you trust on Denver's bench, but not by a lot. And by this time of year, most teams aren't playing that many guys off their bench anyway. You're playing 7 or 8 off your, in total rather. So 2 or 3 guys off the bench generally by this time of the playoffs anyway. So yeah, the Lakers may be tired. Denver is also going to be tired. And the Lakers engine is older than Denver's, let's say that. But also better condition.
Few more miles on it.
But also better condition. And so I think that my pushback, it's not pushback, but my response to that is like, okay, well, yeah, the Lakers expended a lot of energy trying to win a game in Denver, and their best guys played a lot of minutes, including, the guy in his 20th year. And if he can't do it again, you lose. Like, what's the alternative, right? There is no backup plan. If LeBron is tired and can't give what the Lakers need to win both games in LA, you lose the series. But there isn't you're right, it is concerning, but there isn't another answer. I want to go back to one of the things you said about Denver and how good they are in the clutch. And it's partially because they know, they've been together. But I think it's more they just know who they are. And the Lakers have done a really good job this year of building an identity. Physical, tough, right? All these kind of things. But that's defensively. Offensively, I'm not sure the Lakers know who they are to the extent that the Nuggets know who they are, right? Like when you need a bucket, you know exactly what the Nuggets are going to do. It's going to be Jamal Murray. It's going to be Nikola Jokic. They're going to play pick and roll, and they've just done that a million times. For the Lakers, when the Lakers need a bucket, the Lakers don't have an offensive identity in the ways that previous Lakers teams and LeBron teams have, but also the Nuggets have. So I think that's why you've seen success in the clutch for the Nuggets, because offensively they know exactly what they're going to do, and they say, okay, can you stop it? The Lakers, it was a lot of Dennis pick and roll late and with AD space. It was a lot of LeBron trying to ISO, but then not creating an advantage and settling for so there was some Austin going to work there, which is there's some good options there. But there is not the one thing that is trusted that you just know you can get a good shot out of, like the Nuggets. So
yeah,
I mean, I like AD. Okay, you know what? That the one where it was, it ended up being a Dennis possession with AD spaced to the corner. Maybe there was 40 seconds left or something like that. All right, let's move on.
Well, so
that one was frustrating to me. I'm sure you talked about that with Raj last night, because I saw he was talking about it on Twitter also. But
the part of it that annoyed me on that one, so I know exactly. Raj did clip it, and then had he and I had a back and forth about it. But the part of that, it's like, okay, you're gonna space AD to the corner. He was open. As he's shooting, though, whoever is guarding Reeves on that right wing started to slip down to try to contest that shot, or appear like Brown. Yeah, and
I believe it was just Brown.
It's just like, man, AD, just swing the ball. So Reeves is the Lakers' best shooter right now. Swing the ball up, and I'll take that shot from Reeves a lot more than AD shooting a three. I know AD made one earlier, but I think a bigger point though was just it all felt very rudderless. It just felt kind of like,
that's my point. That's what I'm saying.
They were guided into it was guided into, Denver was guiding the Lakers into the shots that Denver wanted them to take. You never really felt and throughout the game, when the Lakers were playing well, the Lakers were dictating the offense. The Lakers were putting Jokic in space. The Lakers were hunting the mismatch that they felt like hunting. I still haven't seen enough Michael Porter Jr. guarding pick and rolls and stuff. And the times that they made him do any kind of defense on the move, he picked up 3 fouls in the first half. So, this is why, and I know Nuggets fans are annoyed at well, they're just generally annoyed, and annoying. But when I say that game, and there are people taking issue with this, when I say it felt like that game slipped away, it's because the Lakers were playing better basketball. Like the Lakers for much of that game.
Well, the Lakers led for most of the game.
Yeah, like
The Lakers felt in control for most of the game.
Right. I would probably say like 2 and like 9/10 quarters. Right.
Yeah, the very end of the third was not great.
Yeah, and then and
Jamal
again,
got cooking in the fourth.
This is where like I think both of these things can be true. It felt like the Lakers let that one slip away slowly over the course of the game, where there were opportunities to extend a 12-point lead and a 16, or 16 into 18 or 20, and either a dumb shot would happen, a dumb turnover, a dumb foul that puts Denver in the bonus and allows them to keep the free throw somewhat close. And then when it came down to that fourth quarter, Denver beat the shit out of the Lakers, and the Lakers made a run. They got back into it or whatever. But for the most part, that fourth quarter was a disaster. And it wasn't like the to the extent that the Lakers were outplaying the Nuggets throughout that game, the Nuggets flipped it on its head and looked like the clear better team. They looked like the 1 seed over the 7 seed. And again, like I don't see why that would be something that would piss off Nuggets fans, like describing that game that way. But here we are.
I know you have friends that are Nuggets fans, and you have like working
I'm about to
relationships
do.
that
I
become
think I'm about to
friendships.
do Locked On Nuggets in like a couple hours or an hour or so.
Yeah. So
That'll go well.
But that's just little brother syndrome, right? That is, we are always, and by the way, that's the card that Mike Malone is playing also.
Yeah.
In every single one of his post games, it's little brother. It's like the insecurity of little brother syndrome, right?
Yeah.
Like,
and look, I think
they've never won anything. They have never won 2 games in a conference finals. I don't think. Well, yeah, it was 4-1. The Lakers series was 4-1. I think that was their only conference finals.
Yeah.
In the bubble, the Lakers beat them 4-1. I don't think they've ever won 2 games. They've never been this close to going to the finals and have never won anything.
I'm glad you mentioned Malone. His quotes are annoying, and he keeps
Michael,
saying,
or I don't know what I said, but I don't want him to yell at me. So it's Michael
Mikey.
Malone.
Mikey, Miggy,
Michael Malone. I don't want him yelling at me.
Doesn't he strike you as the kind of guy who has like army, like on his watch? It's on army time.
Military time?
Yeah, military time. Like,
I never thought. Yeah, I guess so. I mean, that's more that if you said who is the one coach that has military time on their watch, it would be Tibbs. But
yeah,
Malone's doesn't seem that far off. Yeah.
But yeah, I
funny descriptor. The guy was never in the yearbook in high school. Most likely to use military time on their watch.
Yeah. My brother-in-law used it, like used military time for a while, and like would occasionally say like, yeah, I'll see you at 0400. I'm like,
no, you won't.
You're an HVAC dude.
No, you won't. 0400. What are we snuggling? You will not see me at 0400.
Yeah, 0400's early. But yeah, I find myself like with Malone and his quotes, just like with Kerr, where Kerr knew exactly what he was doing when he was talking about the refereeing and stuff and the flopping. I think Malone, he has been with that team for a long time. Mm-hmm. And I think the number one thing that you can say as a credit to Malone's coaching is that he is on them hard, right? He takes those rage timeouts. He gets after it in timeouts. He really stresses defense. He like didn't play Michael Porter Jr. for a long time because MPJ didn't want to defend, right? And he didn't have the role that was commensurate with his talent for a long time because he didn't like fit into the Malone model. And yet like that team loves him. That team plays hard for him. That team has stuck with him despite some frustrations over the years and him riding them as hard as he does. They have really, so I think when he does the whole like little brother thing, and when he talks about like, well, coming out of game 1, it was like, we had to make all the adjustments. And after game 2, like, it's like, doing the same kind of thing. I think that's him, continuing to show his team that he's willing to fight for them in the media. And I think it's working. The only thing that I was concerned about, and again, Nuggets fans didn't like this, is like eventually so he was going directly at D'Angelo Russell, right? And I think that's another one where It
Did
kind
he
of
go
makes sense.
directly at I know it was Bruce
He
Brown went
was.
directly at him. Did he
No,
go
no,
directly
he
at him
was.
also? I saw him say
Yeah.
like I saw him say that like what was it, one-way players or
They had a player who has done some really good things for him, and he didn't play at all in the fourth quarter.
Oh
and
yeah,
that
that's
was,
right. Yeah, I did see
yeah.
that. Yes.
And
But he didn't
like
specifically say it was Bruce Brown that specifically was like we were targeting D'Lo. Yes. Gotcha.
yeah. And look, both of them correct, right? Like both of them objectively correct. D'Lo has been a disaster here. I grabbed this stat last night as I was going to bed, and it didn't help me go to bed. But through 2 games, the Lakers are minus 32.8 points per 100 possessions worse. They are 32.8 points per 100 possessions worse with Russell on the court, and they are 37.9 points better per 100 possessions. He has been an unmitigated disaster out there.
So I will put it as simply as this. The reason the Lakers are still playing is because the Warriors didn't do what the Nuggets are doing. If the Warriors had attacked D'Lo like as intentionally as the Nuggets are and are publicly admitting, or not admitting, saying, because I think they think it's going to fuck with him, and force Darvin, mess with Darvin's head. The biggest reason the Lakers are still playing is because the Warriors, for whatever reason, at the beginning of the series, I said this is not a D'Lo series and this is not a Poole series. And then either one of them in game 1, Poole, had 6 threes and was all right. And, D'Lo had a few games where offensively he was good. And people wanted to dunk on me as Twitter is known for. And the reason I said that is because I didn't think either one of them could hold up defensively. And the playoffs become predatory. And for whatever reason, blame whoever you want, the Warriors didn't do that as it relates to D'Lo. I think that's why the Lakers are still playing. And we are seeing it. And now, like, it was, look, it's all gamesmanship from Malone. But now I think, I think he's saying it because to mess with D'Lo, but more importantly, to mess with Darvin and try to make Darvin second guess himself. And there was a lineup change from game 1 to game 2. Now, will there be another one from game 2 to game 3? I think this is like psychological warfare from Malone on Darvin mostly. I think that's what the purpose is for it. And then he was also saying after game 1, like, it's all the talk is about the Lakers. Like the Lakers found something, so we have to adjust when we're up, 1-0. Psychological warfare. He's trying to. I'm not saying it's working, but he's trying to mess with Darvin's head about what should Darvin do, and do we need to adjust? Do we not? And True and I talk about this a lot. I don't know if I've said it here on the Glorious Lakers Lounge, but every coach's favorite thing is when they win a game and hate the tape. So they have plenty of things on tape to yell at their team about and correct while still winning. And that's what Denver was able to do in game 1. And I thought that was a big advantage for them. And I agreed. I actually agreed with, I disagreed with Malone's point because I did think after game 1 that it was on the Nuggets to adjust. Because the Lakers had found something that worked. The Lakers did not go directly to it in game 1, although Rui came in and scored a bunch of points in the first half. Has not missed a shot basically in the first 6 quarters of the series. Basically, didn't miss a shot. So I think, to go back to Malone, I think it's all psychological warfare, and it will be fascinating to see if, again, to the Lakers' identity question or lack of identity question in some respects. I think it's probably. I don't want to give anything away, but I think it's. I would not be shocked. Let me say that. I would not be shocked if we saw a different lineup again in game 3.
I think they have to. I think they have to. We saw with the Warriors, right? When the Warriors were down 0-1, they changed the starting lineup. When they were and they tied it in game 2. So I don't think we saw. Did we see a different lineup in game 3?
The Warriors played 3 different lineups, I think, in the first 4 games, I believe.
Yeah, so the only one that they didn't change their lineup with, I think, was going from 2 to 3, but then they changed it after game 3, heading into game 4. And yeah, I just think with the Lakers, like they're the team right now that has to find answers that they can continue to go to, and honestly, like that to me is going to be like the definition of whether this is a competitive series here moving forward, whether the Lakers get back into it, because the Lakers essentially, and you mentioned their identity, and I think I'm going to push back slightly. I think they have found an identity that they can go to, but I don't know if it's necessarily the identity that Darvin Ham is the most comfortable with. They can be physical, they can be long, they can be athletic, but we continue to see the small guard lineups, the 3 guard lineups, sometimes with LeBron and AD, which makes that, which raises the average size out there. But like if the Lakers really committed to, size and physicality and those things, you'd see more Vanderbilt minutes. Rui would play more than 30 minutes than he did last night. I think there's an identity there. It's just a matter of if the Lakers are going to stick with it. The problem with that is they only have like a handful of players who can actually fit into that thing, right? And Vanderbilt it becomes unplayable sometimes because of the offensive concerns. Rui cannot stay attached on the pick and roll. Like last night, they put him on Jamal Murray and essentially tried to switch everything. Murray hit two or three, 2 or 3 straight threes that helped end that game essentially. The tough thing here is that there is an identity, but I don't think the Lakers have enough guys across their roster to stick to that identity. They need 1 or 2 more guys built like Rui, like Vanderbilt, who can't get played off of the court. And unfortunately, those guys are super
by the way, those guys are
Kawhi
Leonard. Everybody needs more of those guys.
Yeah, right. So I think to me, if you were to ask me what is this series going to boil down to here moving forward, it's either the Lakers just fully commit to being bigger, stronger, faster than they would be with the tiny little guards that they keep playing, or those tiny little guards play better. The thing that drives me nuts watching those guys play is you're playing small ball and they're slower than the other team. You're going super small to try to speed up the game and force Jokic to guard in space, and the Lakers are just stuck in the mud. So I think
that's why I differentiated between the team's offensive identity and the defensive identity. Mm-hmm. I think the team has an identity because again, when the starting lineup that was used last night and was used, towards the end of the regular season, is big and physical, and it isn't small, right? The question becomes when Vando has trouble offensively and you need to find a role for Vando offensively, then if Dennis is the substitution in the starting lineup as opposed to Rui, then you run into, we have 3 kind of small guys out there against a Denver team that's really big. Against the Warriors, it doesn't matter as much, other than the Warriors small guys are better than your small guys, although not mm-hmm. in this previous series. But this is also part of the Mo Bamba question, right? And the Wenyen question, because Wenyen and Mo for injury reasons, maybe, or just not being good enough, and Wenyen because he's just not that big, right? Mm-hmm. The Lakers don't have another center. They have Anthony Davis, and that's it. So I'm not going to tell you who I was talking to someone, let's say that, before the game yesterday, and I was advocating for, I was trying to get, I'm going to put air quotes up, I was trying to get us to start Dennis, Austin, Vando, LeBron, AD, and have LeBron guard Joker full-time. And LeBron did guard Joker a bunch yesterday mm-hmm. and was pretty effective. Because I think it lets AD and Vando on Murray and AD on Aaron Gordon, and just let him kind of roam and be the destroyer of worlds that he was in game 1 when he wasn't guarding Joker. And then I think Rui is the LeBron replacement to guard Joker in those minutes. I mean, look, AD is going to get switched on a Joker because that's just how things work. But I think you can switch all. Denver's 3 most common actions are a Joker and Murray pick and roll, a Joker and Gordon pick and roll, and a little bit of Murray and Gordon pick and roll. And if you have those three guys guarding those three guys, if you have Vando on Murray, if you have LeBron on Joker, and if you have AD on Gordon, you can switch any of that and not be at a disadvantage.
Mm-hmm.
And it allows AD to run like, and if you want to bring AD out of the paint, as the Warriors were trying to do, right, with their number one objective in all their offense was get AD away from the basket because he just destroys everything. He gunks everything up and destroys everything at the basket. Fine. Mm-hmm. Okay, Nuggets. Then you're putting Aaron Gordon in actions more than you want offensively. So there was the McMiniman report about bringing D'Lo off the bench, and the Lakers sources were afraid that they might lose him.
Can it get worse?
Even that said, I would that is my suggestion. That was my suggestion before game 2. It was not. Maybe it was taken under advisement, but it was not implemented. Although I advocated against the Russ trade, so how much juice do I have? But that's what I would do going forward.
Yeah, my only concern there would be like the offense would be so stuck in the mud that
the offense is stuck in the mud anyway. Though.
Well, yeah, but like it would be that would make it worse, and then I think we've seen it to this point. And what Denver is essentially doing is, especially on shots that AD takes, they are running immediately. AD, like I know he's tired, I know he's exhausted and all that stuff, but my dude, can you sprint back on defense once? Like Jokic
hold on. If there is one part of the Lakers postseason that is beyond reproach, above reproach, it is AC. It is AD's defense.
Hey, there's a Freudian slip, but no,
AD's defense.
Hey, when the Lakers are in the half court, absolutely, I have no complaints there. But it is taking him forever and a year to get back on defense when they're back, and he's not alone.
Okay,
so
the Lakers transition,
but it means a lot.
Has been awful.
Well, sure, but like it. I think the reason their transition defense has been awful is because the most important part of their defense is taking a long time to get back in that transition. Like, I mean,
AD's being asked to do quite a bit. AD has quite a bit of a load.
He's a superstar, Aaron. He's making almost $50 million a year. Like when they keep asking Jokic to do more, it's just like, all right, fuck it. Here I go. I'll get my Jigglypuff ass up and down the court if I have to.
Michael Malone. I don't want him to yell at me. Michael Malone said he called Joker. What did he say? He called him Secretariat. He said he can run for days, I think is what he said. Like, he's that dude. Okay, I mean, I guess slowly, but I guess so.
I have a buddy, Kirk, who is getting has been working to get back in shape like crazy, and he just recently started breaking 6-minute miles, which is really effing good.
That is impressive.
And I was like, man, how the hell are you doing that? And he's like, well, the thing is, I have super long strides, and I just get into a rhythm, and I just clear a shit ton of a shit ton of territory with my stride, and it helps me on a treadmill actually go pretty fast. And I feel like that's kind of like Jokic's approach to this, is he just kind of gets into a rhythm and he just runs forever at his pace or whatever. But anyway,
is there anything worse than distance running? I think that is like banging your big toe, your little toe against the bed frame or something, and distance running are like the worst things on planet Earth.
The entire reason my 5'0" 100 happy ass went into basketball instead of soccer was because in soccer we were expected to run in conditioning season, we were expected to run 13, 15 miles and shit like that. And I'm just like, nope, no. I'm better at soccer, but I'm going to basketball because I'm not interested in that.
My basketball coach was a former Marine in high school.
Was it Mike Malone?
No, Michael, because he will yell at you.
Yeah, sorry.
But he was like a 70-year-old dude, and he used to
Miguelito?
He used to go. He used to bench. He used to fold his legs. YouTube, you guys can see this, but he would cross his legs and bring them off the ground on the bench, and would just rep 2 plates. It was like this little tiny math teacher. I was like, "What are you doing?" And so he used to make us run because I guess he learned he would ask us, "What do you hate most? What what do you hate? What exercise do you hate most? Like in the gym, what do you hate most?
I'd have been like, resting. I hate resting, coach.
And he goes, and there was some military training was like, well, that's your body telling you that's what you need. And so all of us were like, we hate running. And he'd be like, okay. So we had to run like run down to the beach and run on the beach and then run back to school. And then he made us do homework, which was running 3 miles, and you had to have somebody sign it, say you did it. So I tried to get my mom to just be like, yeah, he did it. And my mom wouldn't. My mom's too honest, so she wouldn't lie for me. So she made me go do it. I was so angry that I ran 3 miles in 17 minutes because I was so angry at all parties involved that I did not want to participate in this. Yeah. Distance running is terrible.
It's the worst.
I will never. I mean, my knee is. I will never run again because I just can't run. I will never run again. And I was telling somebody that last night, and she was like, "Yeah, but running is stupid anyway." I'm like, "Yeah, I agree. Like, I will never run again unless somebody chases me."
You like break your knee over again just so it doesn't get any.
I'm not running. Never again. I'm only running if somebody's chasing me.
All right.
And then probably still not. I'll just deal with the consequences in person. Whatever, man.
Mike Malone's just chasing after you. My name is Michael. My name is Michael.
just with a knife. Just
you're running. You're like, you know what? Screw it, Mike. Bring it on, Mike. He's like, I will meet you at 1300 hours in the park. All right, so let's wrap this thing up here and look ahead to this weekend where the Lakers I'm going to publish this immediately here on this Friday afternoon.
Okay.
So tomorrow, the Lakers are going to have Game 3 back at home, and then they play Monday for Game 4. Aaron, you and I are going to talk again next Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
And by that point, Game 5 could have taken place. Do you next time you and I talk, what do you think the situation is going to be?
So that will be, so it's Saturday, Monday, Wednesday, 3, 4, 5.
Mm-hmm.
So what you're asking me is, do I think there's going to be, do I think I'm going to get another home game is what you're asking me. Do you think there's going to be a Game 6? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the Lakers are not getting swept. How about that? The Lakers are not getting swept. Will the Lakers win 2 out of the next 3 is your question? 50-50. I mean, I don't think the Lakers are going to get swept.
The thing I'm nervous about.
The Nuggets are the overwhelming favorite to win this series. So what you're asking me is,
how dare you, Aaron? They are underdogs. They are nothing but underdogs. They had no chance coming into this series, even though Vegas had them as heavy.
Vegas predicted. I don't care what everybody at ESPN says. Where they like chronicle 9,000 people from ESPN, and they all just
all those people said that Denver was going to win the series.
Yeah, but like most of them, and Vegas did. So look, again, it's the little brother syndrome.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say yes. Yes, I'm gonna say yes again because this is the way the playoffs work, right? When somebody wins a game, it feels like whatever they just did is inevitable. So Denver won 2 games. They had the Lakers on the ropes, and the Lakers fought back. And then the Lakers sort of had Denver on the ropes, and Denver fought back. Denver ended up winning both games, but they were both close, and the Lakers could have won both games. Yeah. So it feels kind of overwhelming because that's just how it feels in the playoffs. But there were 2 games at home for Denver, and now the Lakers get a chance to. I mean, again, like I don't believe, as we started this, I don't believe in that it doesn't start until the road team wins a game because the Lakers are in trouble. They're down 2-0 and you only need to win 4. So Denver's halfway there. The Lakers are in trouble, plainly. But here's what I will say. The Lakers are not getting swept, I don't think. And as far as, but here's what I do think. The Lakers had better win both of these at home because if they split, I do not think the Lakers are winning Game 5 in Denver. So if you're asking me what it's going to look like when we talk next Thursday or whenever it is again for the Lakers Lounge, the Lakers had better win these two at home. Or if the Lakers do not win these two, I think the season will be over by the next time we talk.
Yeah, I think I'd agree with that. I think I would probably agree with that. Hope that is not the case. Hope that the next time you and I talk, we will be getting ready for a game 6.
And if you're in the building Saturday or Monday, come say hi to me and shake my hand, and I'll get you a beverage.
Unless you're a Nuggets fan. If you're a Nuggets fan and you go say hi to Aaron,
do you have Nuggets fans listening to this? If you're a Nuggets fan,
my guess is there's at least one person from DMVR watching right now.
Mm-hmm.
My guess is Matt has watched some of this over the course of this thing, and then I think look, I do this all the time too. When the Lakers are good, I will go watch opposing people's stuff
just to revel in their misery. Yeah.
So I would honestly hope that is the case. Here's the thing, man. If it wasn't for these annoying ass Nuggets fans and Michael Malone's stupid little quotes, there's a lot that I like about the Nuggets team.
No, but that's what the playoffs is, right?
KCP's been super helped win a championship for the Lakers. He's been really good in the series. And if it wasn't against the Lakers, I'd be like, man, it's really cool watching him continue to be a winning player. No, Jamal Murray's a fucking dog, dude. Okay, I love watching that guy play.
Let's put the Warriors and Lakers aside, because the four biggest fan bases in the NBA are Lakers fans, Warriors fans, LeBron fans, and Steph fans, right? That's the 4 pillars of the NBA. So we had all of that in one series, and LeBron stands and Steph stands have been going at each other for 10 years on Twitter. The Warriors fans and Lakers fans, not so much until LeBron came to the Lakers. Yeah. So let's put that aside. But that's what the playoffs is, right? You're like, did you have any, we all hated Dylan Brooks before the series started, but whatever, man. And then you grow to hate the entire team. You grow to hate the city of Memphis for some reason. Your barbecue sucks, Memphis. This is what it is. This is what the playoffs do. And series you start. I think I said this on your show, right? It's the offense and defensive line in training camp in the NFL, they are going to fight because they're just at each other over and over and over.
All
Eventually,
the time.
You want to hit somebody else.
Yeah,
you want to hit somebody in another team. So that's what the playoffs do. You build up this animosity to other teams and other cities and other fan bases, and Twitter is the main culprit in all of this. But yeah, you think Denver's stupid, and none of the Denver fans are coming up to me to game because they can't afford tickets. You know how much it costs to live in Denver? You get a 9-bedroom apartment for about $50 a month. Denver's cheap. They can't afford tickets to the game. No, none of them are going to come up to me. See, how was that? Was that good?
That was good. We'll end there. We'll talk to everybody next week, hopefully with more basketball to be played.